Hi everybody, I'm Ingrid Cummings. I'm your professor for this class. This is PR605 Entrepreneurship. I'm so delighted to be teaching graduate students. I'm glad you're with us, and I'm glad we're online. We're going to make the best of this. I think it's an interesting class. It's very much a graduate school class, and I'll tell you why in a minute. First, I do want to make the official welcome again. My name is Ingrid Cummings. I teach here at Ball State. I teach at IU. I teach at Ivy Tech. I teach at Trine University up in Northeast Indiana. Have taught at Butler, all over the place. I love teaching. I'm also a communications maven. I've had a PR shop. I actually still do have a PR shop of my own. It's a little bit less active since I've gotten so busy with teaching. I've been a television person. I've had a magazine column. I've had a newspaper column. I've done public speaking all over the world. I've written a book called The Vigorous Mind. You name it. If it's PR or communication related, I've done it. So I do love this stuff. It's really central to who I am. This class consists of really only 3 elements. Let's spin through them. The first is a discussion board element. Now, this is not what you're thinking. It's not the standard, blah, 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 what do you think about this, blah, 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 and then respond to 3 of your peers. We're not doing that. I don't have a huge objection to it, but I do have a small objection to that. I think it gets a little cliched, a little rote. You're stretching and reaching to come up with something to say that's, kind of sounds normal, and you don't want to slam people, but you want to say something substantive. It can be really hard. So we're not going to quite do that. You will be posting to a discussion board in Canvas, but you won't be responding to any of your peers. Okay, you ask, what will you be responding to? I will have prompts for you based on the book. You will need to get the ebook in e-version. I'm having a dickens of a time myself getting one, but that's a whole different deal with professors. So you will be responsible for what we call a meaty post just about every week based on the textbook readings. And the particular details are located here in Canvas under the discussion link. So, but no peer reviews per se, just responses. That's the first element of the class. The second of 3 is your final project, which is a biggie. And I'm not going to get into it now, although I want you to look at it right away and choose the organization you're going to be profiling, because you have all semester to do it, and Lord knows I don't want you procrastinating on this. So get busy on that right away. Choose your organization. Not going to spin through the details here. This is not the time or the place for that, but don't put off making that choice, because that'll put you behind the 8 ball for the whole semester. It's a big project. And the third and final component of this class are peer reviews of that final project. Now, these are peer reviews in the sense that you think of them. Well, I can't remember what I asked for, 3 or 5 or something, other people's projects to look at and say, I think you did this well, I think you didn't do this so well. You might consider trying this the next time. Standard peer reviews. So again, just 3 elements: discussion board, posts, the big final project, and then peer reviews of that final project. You certainly may work ahead. In fact, I encourage you to. There is no reason you can't work ahead on any component in this class except for the peer reviews of the final project. As I mentioned, choose your company for this final project so you don't get behind there. Don't be what I call a slave to sample. Students, and for some reason I've noticed this particularly among my Ball State students, they just demand samples of the assignments. And on one hand I think, well, that's totally reasonable, but what I find is that too often you guys, and I am speaking of the undergraduates here, just want to copy it as if it's a template, and if you just copy it, you'll get the A. Well, that's not the way we roll. Sometimes I'm so devious, I will post student work that has not received an A, and your job is to look at it and say, hey, I don't think this is so hot. On the other hand, this is okay. So, you have to be discriminating. Critical thinking is a gigantic part of college. So don't be a slave to sample. Look at and in fact, I should say this, the sample I have posted in this particular class comes with a lot of strings attached. This is the first time I've taught this class in this way. So the sample I have posted is not from my section. This person is not a former student of mine. The class was likely set up somewhat differently, so don't over-invest in the sample. Do your own thing. You will be fine. I design all my classes this way, but particularly at the graduate level. You are granted a lot of latitude in how you want to interpret the assignment. As I mentioned in the syllabus, I believe it is, or maybe it's on the assignment. If you are embracing the objectives set out for this class, you are succeeding. This is not factory work. Wrote, do it, move on, do it, move on. If you are embracing the objectives and honoring those for this class, you're going to be fine, okay? You will need that ebook. So look into getting it. Okay. That's really all I've got for you by way of a welcome greeting. I'll check back in here with you occasionally. You are always welcome to be in touch with me. This class, as a graduate class, is greatly self-paced, and that's, particularly so in an online environment. So don't fall behind. You'll do swell. See you around.